Imagination will often carry us to worlds that never were, but without it we go nowhere. Extinction is the rule. Survival is the exception. Who are we? We find that we live on an insignificant planet of a humdrum star lost in a galaxy tucked away, in some forgotten corner of a universe, in which there are far more galaxies than people. Our posturings, our imagined self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged position in the universe, are challenged by this point of pale light. Our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. It is up to us. It is far better to grasp the universe as it really is, than to persist in delusion, however satisfying and reassuring. The brain is like a muscle. When it is in use, we feel very good. Understanding is joyous. The universe is not required to be in perfect harmony with human ambition. But the fact that some geniuses were laughed at does not imply that all who are laughed at are geniuses. They laughed at Columbus, they laughed at Fulton, they laughed at the Wright brothers, but they also laughed at Bozo the Clown. There is a wide, yawning black infinity. In every direction, the extension is endless, the sensation of depth is overwhelming, and the darkness is immortal. Where light exists, it is pure, blazing, fierce. But light exists almost nowhere, and the blackness itself is also pure and blazing and fierce. When you make the finding yourself, even if you're the last person on earth to see the light, you'll never forget it. The universe seems neither benign nor hostile, merely indifferent. We have also arranged things so that almost no one understands science and technology. This is a prescription for disaster. We might get away with it for a while, but sooner or later this combustible mixture of ignorance and power is going to blow up in our faces. The Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Our species needs and deserves a citizenry with minds wide awake and a basic understanding of how the world works. The dangers of not thinking clearly are much greater now than ever before. It's not that there's something new in our way of thinking, it's that credulous and confused thinking can be much more lethal in ways it was never before. Skeptical scrutiny is the means, in both science and religion, by which deep thoughts can be winnowed from deep nonsense. The professed function of the nuclear weapons on each side is to prevent the other side from using their nuclear weapons. If that's all it is, then we've got to ask, how many nuclear weapons do you need to do that? You probably don't need more weapons than what's required to destroy every city on Earth. There's only 2,300 cities. So, the United States, by that criteria, only needs 2,300 nuclear weapons. Well, we've got more than 2,500. No other planet in the solar system is a suitable home for human beings. It's this world or nothing. That's a very powerful perception. The boundary between space and the Earth is purely arbitrary, and I'll probably always be interested in this planet. It's my favorite. I am often amazed at how much more capability and enthusiasm for science there is among elementary school youngsters than among college students. It's been said that astronomy is a humbling and, I might add, a character-building experience. All of the books in the world contain no more information than is broadcast as video in a single large American city in a single year. Not all bits have equal value. Even these stars, which seem so numerous, are as sand, as dust, or less than dust in the enormity of the space in which there is nothing. We've arranged a civilization in which most crucial elements profoundly depend on science and technology. We're in very bad trouble if we don't understand the planet we're trying to save. I've written a number of books that have to do with the evolution of humans, human intelligence, human emotions. Most of the people that I deal with are human, so I've had a lot of experience with that. We are not without empathetic terror when we open Pascal's Pensées and read, "I am the great silent spaces between worlds." We start out 1,000,000 years ago in a small community on some grassy plain. We hunt animals, have children, and develop a rich social, sexual, and intellectual life. But we know almost nothing about our surroundings. If we long to believe that the stars rise and set for us, that we are the reason there is a universe, does science do us a disservice in deflating our concepts? I can find in my undergraduate classes bright students who do not know that the stars rise and set at night, or even that the sun is a star. We live in a society exquisitely dependent on science and technology, in which hardly anyone knows anything about science and technology. For small creatures such as we, the vastness is bearable only through love. Science is a way of thinking, much more than it is a body of knowledge.